The reason we care about Uyghurs in concentration camps is because we care about justice and freedom for everyone. Maybe not as much as we would care about justice and freedom in our own house, our own street, our own town, but surely we care. And that's what's so odd to me, is, for example, Justin Trudeau, who never found an Islamic issue that he didn't take up. Why is he not taking up that of the Uyghurs? Lesbian towel, $5. Why should conservatives care about the persecution of Uyghurs besides reasons like owning the libs or owning the CCP? Well, I appreciate that question very much. Thank you for that. I suppose if you believe that anyone on earth has a spark of God in them, has some, their humanity, whatever their religion or ethnicity or race, that if a human, was it John Donne who said, "No man is an island"? Can you call up that poem by John Donne, D-O-N-N-E? I'll read a little bit. It's just such a beautiful poem. Thank you. Can you pump it up so I can? Yeah, there you go. No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as if a promontory were, as well as any manner of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. And this is the Old English version there. It's such a classic poem. It basically says, because you're part of humanity, that's why. Now, I believe that you care for yourself and your family, and your friends and your community, and it's almost like rings on a bullseye, layers of an onion. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're going to care more about your blood, your kin, than a stranger on the other side of the world. Now, I myself actually have been to the Uyghur province of Xinjiang. I've been to cities like Urumqi and Tulufan. I've been there. And by the way, I'm very critical of radical Islam, and I have to say that I found the Islam practiced in Xinjiang very moderate, very friendly, and I think it's because it hadn't been radicalized by Saudi or Iranian money. I enjoyed my visit to the Muslim province of China. I enjoyed Shanghai, I enjoyed Beijing, I liked seeing the wall, there were many wonderful things. Hong Kong was an amazing city, still is. But I actually enjoyed my visit to the Muslim province of China the best. The reason we care about Uyghurs in concentration camps is because we care about justice and freedom for everyone. Maybe not as much as we would care about justice and freedom in our own house, our own street, our own town, but surely we care. And that's what's so odd to me, is, for example, Justin Trudeau, who never found an Islamic issue that he didn't take up. Why is he not taking up that of the Uyghurs? Credible reports say that 1 million or more, Uyghur it's a strange word. Most people have Uyghur. What's that? One person the other day thought I was saying a different word, W-I-G-G-E-R, terrible word. Uyghur, U-I-G-H-Y-U-R is one spelling. It's an ethnicity. Can you just Google Uyghurs and click image? Because it's a certain look. And one of the shocking things when you're in Xinjiang is how many blue eyes you see. And it's a different kind of Asiatic look. It's more sort of Central Asian. It can be beautiful. Yeah, that's the Uyghur look. Scroll down a little bit. Can you, yeah, it's a little bit of a different look. Can you click Uyghur model, M-O-D-E-L? There's some gorgeous, gorgeous people, because they have that fascinating look to them. And blue eye, yeah, look at that lady on the left there. Look at these, that's the Uyghur look. It's Chinese, but also not, isn't it? And one of the things that Communist China is doing is they're trying to water down the number of ethnic Uyghurs in Xinjiang by bringing in en masse Han Chinese. It's like what the Russians did. They called it Russification. So they would bring in Russians to the non-Russian Soviet socialist republics to try and water down the Latvians, the Lithuanians, the Estonians, whatever, Ukrainians. That's what China's doing in Tibet, in Xinjiang. So to answer your question, why should conservatives care about persecution of Uyghurs? Is because because of humanity, because they are people. And by the way, if you think that they are all terrorists or Islamists, I'm here to tell you they're not. I'm not saying none of them are. I know for a fact there are some Uyghurs who went, for example, to join ISIS. Yes, I acknowledge that. But what China is doing to the Uyghurs is similar to what China did to the Falun Gong and what China is doing to Chinese Christians. So it's all part of the same authoritarian, totalitarian, anti-freedom tyranny in China. So that's my long answer to your question. I appreciate the question. Lesbian Towel, $5. Is the plight of Palestinians comparable to the plight of Uyghurs? If not, why not? Well, you're asking great questions. There is not a 1 million person concentration camp in Israel. Palestinians and all Muslims are not force-fed pork as they are in China. They're not in prisons doing forced labor. They're not undergoing re-education. The Palestinian Authority controls local administration of government, schools, hospitals. My favorite factoid that I've learned there is that there's a little fence, it's a security fence, a barrier between Arab towns, Palestinian towns, and Jewish towns. And the root of this barrier, this fence, is constantly being litigated. I think the litigation is done. Every single lawsuit by Palestinians against this fence was to have the fence moved so they're on the Israeli side, under Israeli jurisdiction, not under Palestinian jurisdiction. I think that says a lot, doesn't it? That's an excerpt from a daily live stream show that I do every day at 12 noon Eastern Time. I talk about the stories of the day, play some fun videos, and most importantly, I take your questions and comments in what YouTube calls a super chat. If you like that, please tune in live. It's way more fun that way. You can join the conversation. And every day at 8 p.m., I have a special produced show with a whole monologue, and I interview guests, and I read my fan mail and my hate mail. You can learn more about both my daily live show and the nightly premium show at rebelnews.com.